Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Open Cluster Management Community meeting. Today is May 9th, 2025. And on the agenda today, yours truly, I'm going to talk a little bit about the switching our native OCM application lifecycle map add-on from the subscription channel model, or we call it the AppSub model, to Argo CD. Oh, let me share my screen first. So this is part of our preparation for our OCM 1.0.0 release. I created this issue, and also I put a message in our Slack channel about 6 months ago to gauge the community interest regarding the deprecating our apps up related repos in favor of Argo CD native integrations. So we have our current app lifecycle or GitOps add-on. You can install it through cluster admin. I think it was hub dash install and then application dash manager. But and we've been working on that, and there hasn't been a lot of community interest rallying around that particular add-on. But what we do have is a lot of interest around Argo CD and multi-cluster solution using OCM with Argo CD. And if you go on our YouTube and you type Open Cluster Management, it auto completes into Open Cluster Management Argo CD. So without a doubt, Argo CD is one of the what the community prefers as the GitOps solution. So to align with this solution, we're planning to archive a few existing repos prior to 1.0. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So the first one is obviously the channel, which is part of the subscription AppSub model. And then the second one, and then we talk about a brief summary of what's going on, and then to see alternative, you can see the OCM solution, etc. The second one's obviously the main operator subscription repo. And then the third one is a little bit, I guess, a little bit confusing. This one is multi-cloud integrations. So this one deals with Argo CD auto imports. So this is Argo CD. So why we're planning on maybe archive this one as well? It's because the main focus of the multi-cloud integration repo here is about auto importing clusters for the push model purpose. But in our Neo pool integration repo project here, we actually do have the controller to the cluster controller to auto import the OCM cluster into Argo CD cluster registry as well, but for the pool model purposes. So as OCM is natively a hub and spoke, and we feel like since this repo also hasn't been getting a lot of community interest as well, so we're thinking of maybe archiving this one as well, and then shifting most of the focus in the Argo CD pool integration repo here. Again, it's referenced by the Argo CD website, as well as the other OCM solutions listed in the solutions folders. So these are the three repos that we're planning to maybe archive prior to our 1.0 release, and also having this archival limit kind of make our list of repos a little bit smaller, which is which kind of help us prepare for the incubation as well. Because one of the feedback we've got is, we have too many repos, and some of the repo might not be that active, and we should condense down to have a more singular focus. So on some of the things that we already done is on our website. You know, I think if you go on to, let's see, if you go onto our main website, one of the things that we talk about is our two native add-on. One is regarding the policy, one's regarding app, and then the ones that in here I've already updated to talk about the Argo CD integration. So the same thing that we've been presented many times. Traditionally it's a push model, but with OCM you get this pull model thing. So what is new and what I'm hoping to able to do a demo on later is using the cluster admin to install this Argo CD add-on, so that it dramatically lowers the effort of entry to use the Argo CD integration with OCM. So hopefully, once my kind cluster comes up, and then I can go through some of the steps to see how easy it is to have OCM, to have a cluster register, and then you just install the hub add-on, and then you can enable the add-on for the cluster, for the managed cluster of your choosing, and then you're basically all set, and you're ready to deploy an Argo CD application set, which will generate the Argo CD application. But before I start, maybe I can, before, well, my kind cluster hopefully comes up, or maybe not, I can talk a little bit about what is in what is actually in this cluster admin Argo CD add-on. So what it does is pulling the so we actually, every time we do a release on the Argo CD pool integration repo, it actually publish Helm charts, and this Helm chart contains the artifacts that we install on the when you do the cluster admin hub install. So what it install is, we can go through a few. First of all, the simple app placement. This placement basically just an easy startup default app placement. It selects all the cluster that is registered to your OCM environment. So you can pick, you can specify the specs to pick to fine grain your selection a little bit more. And then it also installed the Argo CD add-on. So the Argo CD add-on is a opinionated minimum workload focused application controller deployment. So instead of having the heavy loading manifests on the hub clusters, this add-on will install the controller, the repo server, as well as the regex cache into the managed cluster. So in the diagram above here, so this application controller is going to come from the Argo CD add-on, and the Argo CD template, where is it? Okay. And then the cluster management add-on defines this add-on template, and then a bunch of cluster roles. And also, these has to do with the role that Argo CD needs for consuming the placement and the placement decisions. So saying here, and the add-on take care of the creating some of these YAMLs, so that makes it a little bit easier to bootstrap. Okay, let me see how's my so my script actually ran successfully, which is great. After I clean up some of the Docker cache. So what I have right now set up is on my left side, I have my hub cluster. On my right side, I have my managed cluster, which is true to the hub cluster. So let me go into this step. So the first step is actually install the Argo CD on the hub cluster. So there are many different ways to install Argo CD. You can refer to the website for the other different ways, but I just took the quick start way, which is installing the latest stable version through the YAML manifest. So this will take a while to install, and then using the cluster admin to set up the Argo CD, which is what I was discussing earlier, what will be deployed. Okay, so as you can see briefly on the screen, it went looking in the, let's see if I can see it. So we went looking into our OCM Helm repo and then grabbed the latest Argo CD full integration Helm chart and then install it. Okay, so let's see if it's up and running. Our pull integration controller. Okay, it's available. I guess we can also check the other Argo CD pod from the hub install. So they're still coming up, but we can move on to the next stage for now. So I only have one managed cluster register, so I'm gonna enable the add-on for that one. So far, all I have run is like just 3 commands, right? Installing the Argo CD, installing the hub add-on, and then enable the add-on on one of the managed clusters. So then we can check. So the add-on is working, and again, is deploying a minimalistic Argo CD instance, mostly for the workload purposes, right? Which is reconciling the application CR. So it's probably going to take a while. So this command checks the status of the managed cluster add-on on the hub side. We can see. Oh, okay. So it'll take a while for the status to reflect. The add-on is deployed through the manifest work and the manifest work feedback. I think it was 30 seconds or so. And then in the meantime, I guess we can look at the guestbook application set manifest that we're gonna apply next. So again, this is an application. This is a sample guestbook application set. Application set is a application Argo CD application generator. It uses the cluster decision resource generator, which our community member Josh have donated to the Argo CD community. Again, it references the config map here so we can see the placement that it generate, the app placement that I talk about, the default placement that the Argo CD add-on install. Okay, and then it comes with the template. So this is basically saying where the Argo CD application is supposed to land whereas in which clusters. And then the template kind of define and what is going to be created. What is the Argo CD application going to look like? So in this case, it's going to be a pool model Argo CD application. So the application is not going to be the application created on the hub cluster is going to skip reconcile, and then it's going to pull to the managed cluster to reconcile. And then it refers to the sample Argo CD guestbook with the following specs. So let's look at the okay. So now we can see the add-on is up for a cluster. We can try to apply the guestbook. So it's created, and then we can see the app is also created from the application set. So when this app is created, because we're using the pull integration, it will get pulled down to here. And then the status here will be reflected back into the hub because of the manifest work after a little bit. So, okay, how many away of it? Okay, so now the app is deployed. So I ran maybe 4 commands in total, and then we can basically try out this Argo CD integration, which makes it a little bit easier for the for a first time user to come out and try out OCM, was specifically the application lifecycle add-on. So that is basically wrapping up my presentation. Just want to give a heads up to the community, see if there's any community feedback regarding this, as well as the presentation on the cluster admin on Argo CD add-on. Any questions? Any comments?
Mike, are we aware of any of the timelines from the Argo team on sort of where they are in their different, they're up in this upstream work that they're doing?
Are you referring? So, are you referring to the Argo CD agent project?
Yeah, the agent project.
Yeah. So the agent project, I think a few users in the community have also asked regarding when is it gonna be kind of like production ready, like more stable. So and there hasn't been a solid timeline given by the Argo CD community yet. But
Okay.
I mean, it's getting there, and
Yeah.
it's one of the interesting part is we actually contributed the MTLS
Yeah.
authentication, and then if you see from the one of their latest PR, so because we contributed the MTLS authentication, the Argo CD folks have actually deprecated their old default user password authentication. So which is great because in and we explain it in our Argo CD agent documentation here. Using the MTLS using the MTLS authentication, the add-on that we provide really helps because we kind of rotate the client certs, and that keeps it a little bit more secure, because then we can just disable the rotation, and then the agent wouldn't be able to connect to the hub anymore, right? So we could provide a really natural integration with the Argo CD agent project. So this is something that I feel quite proud of as a community. We were able to change. We were able to change their direction, because at the beginning when we discussed with the Argo CM maintainer, he was quite unsure about just simply relying on the MTLS authentication scheme, but then through our work, and then obviously your great presentation at KeepCon EU this year, and the community feedback has been quite well received. So we're helping them getting there as well, and then they're obviously doing most of the heavy lifting. So hopefully the agent will be available soon, and I think as what you might kind of imply, then we will go from the kind of like the pool integration into maybe having the Argo CD agent install as well. But then maybe the Argo CD pool integration might kind of transition into something else, right? It might be our uh, might use as the Maestro, for example. Like that's where maybe we can put that in there to even help scale out the Argo CD agent further instead of their default gRPC. But we'll see how that goes. So, upstream stuff is always naturally evolving, but I feel like because this pool model is a little bit more proven and more stable. We had it for a few years, so I decided to go with this for now instead of the agent. So thank you, Josh. That was a great question, and I probably should have mentioned it too in my presentation why the pool integration is chosen instead of the agent for now.
Hi, Mac. I have one question for the installation. Is the cluster admin install is the only way to install this add-on? Is this also available in our Helm charter repo?
Oh yes, yes, exactly. No, what you said is exactly right. It's also available as the Helm chart repo because in order to make this work, I had to put it in the Helm chart repo to begin with. So if I scroll up all the way here, let's see here, you can kind of see, yeah, you kind of see what the cluster admin tool actually is uh, connecting to our OCM Helm chart repo, and then getting the update, and then fetch the chart from the Helm chart repo and then install it that way. So, so yes, Helm chart install is available, and I am going to add that here. I'm gonna write a to do, and I'm gonna add the Helm chart install instead in here as well, and so just the cluster admin.
Thank you.
So the only difference is after the cluster admin install. Oh, I think so. Yes, even if you do the Helm chart install, you can still use this command because the Helm chart will install the add-on template and the cluster add-on CRs, and then you can still use this command. Yeah, I don't see anything different. So in here, it could have been the Helm chart instead of the cluster admin. And then if you don't want to use cluster admin to enable the add-on, you just create the managed cluster add-on CR manually. Yeah. Thank you, Kunal. That was a great question. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other question, comments? Okay, if not, I'm gonna stop the sharing. Okay, that's all I have today, folks. Hope to see you all next time. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye.